Holy shit, you're right. I've been saying absolutely nothing for the past 20 minutes. What I really meant to say is if you put a little butter and cinnamon sugar on the guts of Jimmy John's bread when you pull the guts out to make a sandwich, it makes a totally excellent dessert. Out of 10 streamer. So this episode just fell down the shitter. Jimmy John's is worth eating at. Never worked there. They are the prime example of when a company franchises out, the vision of how the company should operate under a leadership level is completely lost. And I think leadership is the absolute most important thing when operating a company under a capitalist society. Every single manager should maintain the ideal of the general manager's focus in terms of how to train, how to run a store, how to keep a store clean, how to keep the troops motivated, and how to take responsibility for other people's mistakes. When you franchise the ever-living fuck out of your company, anyone from anywhere can run a store however the fuck they want and call it Jimmy John's. And it's a complete gamble on whether or not the store you're working for is going to be a good work environment. Anyways, Flickerbat, scavenger with optical camouflage that renders it invisible to the naked eye. Flickerbats are deceptive creatures. The only way to track them reliably is with X-ray imaging. They fly ceaselessly, hunting insects and other small prey that float on the air currents. Flickerbats tend to fly in cyclical hunting patterns using primitive sonar to navigate. After all I've said, Jimmy John's still makes really, really good sandwiches. They're not as good as Firehouse subs, but they're much, much better than Subway. Get a Club Lulu or an Italian Supreme. They're tasty. Just don't work there. I blame the sock. Also, give some love and emotes to the soundtrack of this level. I freaking love Thindrana Drifts. Scatter Bamu. Pulsing tendrils of energy extend from the creature's body. Like all Bamus, these creatures can only be harmed by electrical energy. Proximity to these life forms may result in electrical visor interference. It is possible to avoid engaging Scatter Bamus by rolling into the morph ball and slipping between the rotating energy streams. Baby Sheegoth, Glacial Predator. Ice shell protects vulnerable dorsal area. Young Sheegoths grow a resilient shell of ice in their backs, which serves to protect a layer of vulnerable flesh. Within this being their only weak point, baby Sheegoths will turn quickly in order to allow predators the opportunity to strike at their backs. Powerful hunters, they fire bursts of ultra-cold gas at potential prey, then feast on their frozen victim. Phendrana. Say the word and I'll post it on your Facebook or your Discord. This music, I believe. A thing to note about Metroid Prime 1, and all the Metroid Prime games in general, did I read this out loud? The shell of the chrysolite reflects beam weapons and can only be cracked by concussive blasts. They hang upside down in an ice cave during their larval stage. Moisture runs off its body and forms the hard ice shell, which the chrysolite retains for the rest of its life. That's the rest of its life. There are certain enemies that can only be scanned once, because after certain trigger event triggers, that enemy will disappear for the rest of the game. And one such case is the Ice Shriek Bat, which I'll come upon shortly, but if you want to play this game for yourself and get all the logbook entries, scan everything immediately. Some of them disappear. Ice Burrower. Burrowers adapted to sub-freezing climates. A hardy life form, the Ice Burrower has adapted to the frigid clime of Phendrana. It spends most of its time tunneling through the frozen soil, but will occasionally surface to attack passerby. Riveting commentary. Welcome back, Crosscurrent. We are live. FYI. Bum nuggets. you get me a beer, please? Could you get me a beer, please? Thank you. It should be in the fridge door. My good friend Crosscurrent, an extreme supporter of the Spoony Futon, is visiting. Thank you very much. Help yourself, dude. Turn on the lights. Do whatever you gotta do. That is 7 cheese pizza by 4 hands. And it actually tastes like there's cheese on that pizza. It'll blow your mind, trust me. Pans are under the oven. How was Bible study, fam? Okay. Feel free to disagree with this. Sin is the desire to be absent from God. To be fully independent from what he has to offer. I think a really important thing to consider is, are all the things I'm accomplishing and doing for other people, is that any better than what Yeshua did for us? And once you think that your good works are better than that, then you're kind of losing track of why you have faith in the first place.
True. And we always,
yeah.
We tend to look for what we want instead of
what we need.
What we need is
Yep. What we want is for this thorn to come out of our side. What we need is my grace for you is sufficient. And that is all I have to say about that. Lieutenant Dan, you got your new legs. As the great poison reaches even further into the planet, we Chozo begin to feel the gnawings of despair. Before it is too late, we now make our last stand. We have begun to build a temple to contain this darkness. At its heart, we will place a cipher, a mystical lock powered by 12 artifacts filled with as much power as we Chozo can harness. We wonder, though, even when we are done, will it be too late? And will the power of the temple and the cipher itself prove strong enough to hold back the poisonous tide that even now swells within the ground, threatening all life? There's an enemy in Resident Evil 6 called the Juavo, and when you inflict critical damage, the AI script says it will either mutate with a big upper body, a big lower body, or it will die. And when it mutates with a big upper body, it basically looks like a human being with praying mantis legs. And then Cywitch saw it and said, Lieutenant Dan, you got your new legs. I fucking lost it. I was laughing so hard.
That's what it sounds like.
Make sure your face is in the camera. Crosscurrent, thank you so much for the host with 1 viewer. I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Crosscurrent is an amazing supporter of the Spooky Futon experience. Oh.
Futon supports me.
The futon supports and my back. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a pun war.
Oh no.
Make sure they can hear you. Speak up.
We need mag more puns.
We need mag more puns. Okay.
Oh, it's too hot. But we can take it for granted.
We can.
'Cause I am a Geo, dude. Don't have any other ones actually know as much. I just saw the chance and Samus, I ran for it.
He Samus, I ran for it. Oh. Oh. Chat, can you get me out of my stream, please? Can you report me on Twitch and, like, fucking ban me? Get me away from stream.
I gotta say, I do see the subscription from a very well-known streamer.
Uh-huh.
We're playing a game called Realm Royale. There's chickens in it, so you get knocked out for taking damage.
Right.
And I said I'd join you, but I'm 2 chicken. And then he just read, it's like 2 chicken. Please ban cross current. And then a random person gifted me a sub.
Cywitch won't ban me. She lava her friends too much. Ah! The lava me. It's one of the harder missiles to get. I don't know what's a good stopping point for this episode, but I'll give it a think.
Oh, you're on a roll right now.
I'm on a roll! No! Your puns...
Don't stop, you'll missile it.
Your puns are bombastic. I'm just being shelled. Help. What do you call a low-fat Pokemon? Butterfree. How does a space alien organize a birthday party? Planet. I don't really care too much for steampunk, but it is the healthiest way to prepare punk.
I forgot about that.
Forgot about that?
In case anyone missed it.
I love that your puns are just so below anything that can be considered, like, it's just...
I have good ones, but I have to actually think about it and write it down differently.
No, like, your puns are like a Rorschach test. It's like you're barely recognizing the semblance of things that make sense, but the fact that you recognize it makes you cringe even harder. It's like extremely abstract art that you'd see at the Metropolitan Museum of Modern Art in New York City. It's just like, you really concentrate, you're like, oh, I get it. That's a cross-current pun. It's... Bloodflower, able to eject toxic spores. Toxins are
Back now.
For everyone watching on YouTube, I'm so fucking sorry.
On YouTube?
Well, this is going on YouTube.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm making content. The point is that my mic muted for some time, and I don't know why, and it's not good. Honestly, you make good content, you make bad content, you never know what's gonna get famous. And posting shit on YouTube is like sending a message in a bottle in the middle of the sea. And like there's a 1 in 10 to 100,000% chance that someone's gonna pick it up. And there's no rhyme or reason or knowing what's gonna make someone blow up as a channel. If even for like 1,000 views. So I can't be jealous, and I can't be mad at myself for something stupid like a mic muting. Anyone can watch Metroid Prime, but there's only one Spooty Lionheart. So the game's just an excuse to watch my personality, even when it's muted. Oh God. They're still coming. I asked for a Frenchman if he played video games. He said oui. How's the audio balance, by the way? Now that's a cross-current pun.
Oh no.
Sywitch comments. A friend asked me if I wanted to play video games. I said sure. Let's play Nintendo. Switch things up.
Oh.
What are acoustic acoustic panels, gotcha.
I would think of a Game Boy joke, but that's far too advanced.
I just don't have the money for acoustic. I have to do the best with what I have. But that's a really good suggestion. Thank you, Chaos. We got the Space Jump Boots, the best item in the game. Well, the best item is the Plasma Beam. But until we get that, Space Jump. Let's go back to Norfair. Moist Chaos has about 60 audio panels. Yeah, this apartment's gonna be fucking awesome. My sister thinks she's too smart. She said onions are the only food that makes you cry. So I threw a coconut at her. That's 2 for 2 on the coconut abuse today.
Oh, that's nuts.
That's nuts. Oh, God. For anyone wondering why I'm playing on normal mode, it's because the enemies have less hit points. And on veteran and hyper mode, it's less about survival and more about just dealing insurmountable amounts of damage to the enemies. It's fucking miserable. Hard means taking more damage and better enemy AI. Not enemies having more hit points and just having to constantly grind and grind and grind and grind and grind. So I'm doing this for the viewers' benefit. Boss fights go on for like 25 minutes on hardcore mode. And I'm saying this because I'm totally secure and okay with myself. And, ah, damn it. You're good, Chaos. Quick potty break. Okay.
Ice parasite, scavenger within a crystalline outer shell. Parasites are hardy creatures able to adapt to any environment within 3 generations. The ice parasite is a prime example, having adjusted to a frigid climate. This vermin is now thrives in it. Omnivorous, it exists in areas hostile to most life forms. Morph ball bomb slot. Inserting the morph ball and detonating a bomb will usually cause these slots to send electrical impulses that can activate different types of devices. Like a gate. Voice Chaos says, I just been fired from the clockmaking factory. I lost all those extra hours I put in. Sheegoth, supreme predator of the Thendrana Drifts. Sheegoths are invulnerable to most beam weapons. The crystals on their back absorb energy, which they can fire at prey. Sheegoths have poor stamina. They hyperventilate after using their breath attack, making their mouth area vulnerable. The soft underbelly of the Sheegoth, you're all good, dude, is susceptible to concussive blasts. In battle, they expel blasts of frigid gas to ensure their targets ensnare. They are also fond of ramming and trampling their hapless prey. I asked for it. I have no one to blame but myself. These puns. This episode brought to you by Schlafly Pale Ale. Move to St. Louis and get some. Cardinals suck. Blues suck. Toasted ravioli sucks and Emo's pizza sucks. But Schlafly Pale Ale is fucking amazing. Ugh. Now the Blues are fine. They won a Stanley Cup. I just don't care about sports. I admire sports because when I watch a speed run, I have to realize that I'm under the same mentality as someone who's watching sports. So I can't poo-poo sports. But when someone's watching a speed run, they don't shoot someone when their team is losing. So I can't say that everything about sports is great. But it still takes an inexhaustible, insurmountable, superhuman amount of skill to do well at. So... Slywitch says she got fired from the calendar factory because she took a week off.
Now you suck because the Slywitch is making puns too. No one can really ban them.
Yeah! She's the moderator. So no one can be banned for bad puns, I guess.
But that makes you pretty mod about it.
I'm very mod about it. For the Ice Streak bats. They only disappear after Thardis. This hanging rock structure appears to have a weak spot in its base. Some stalactites can be dislodged from the ceilings, allowing them to be used as platforms to cross otherwise unreachable areas. God, this video is going to have nothing. Because I gotta commit, I can't just retry. Oh shit, the ice freak bats! They're just starting a video with, like, no dialogue for the first 30 minutes. Whatever, let's just do it. I'll watch it again and put an addendum in the comments, the video description, if you will. I'm backtracking to repopulate the room here. Oh yeah, I don't need to... Okay. This area kind of reminds me of the Half-Blood Prince when they're in Hogsmeade Village and it's all snowy. Kind of beautiful. Ice Shriek Bats. Ice-encased ceiling dweller. Like standard shriek bats, these creatures are easily spotted with thermal imaging. They roost on cave ceilings. Subsisting on insects, reptiles, and small mammals, fiercely territorial, they will dive bomb anything that wanders near. This is a standard spinner device. The generator belts of the spinner can be activated by rapid rotation force. Use the boost ability of the morph ball when inside a spinner to activate the device. Burpsy burpsy. Welcome back, Moist Chaos, as always. For everyone watching, this is episode 2, by the way. I am so sorry. It is 2020, and I'm going to apologize however much I damn please. Just fuck you. I'm taking ownership, baby. Thank you! Can you save me a slice or two?
Oh, I'll save you a slice, yeah.
Thank you. It was on sale, actually, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm getting cross-current some of this fucking shit.
Brings back the appetite I've lost.
I apologize for 2020. It's all Moist Chaos's fault. Blame him. I remember seeing on some YouTube video, some guy was like, don't apologize, it's the year 2019 or some shit like that. I'm like, really, motherfucker? Society has gotten to a point where apologies are not necessary? Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, people do shit that is disagreeable, take ownership, let them know that you fucked up, so that you can be on the same level as someone else and make life better for the both of you. Like, just, it's okay to apologize. It's not okay to overly apologize. But say I'm sorry once in a while. You know, let people know that you care, that you're listening, that you want to do better because you know, give a shit about how they feel. Kind of matters. It's okay to say I'm sorry. Shadow Pirate. Pirate forces trained and equipped for stealth operations. A select group of space pirates have accessed the sophisticated cloaking technology. This gear drains high levels of power, however, forcing them to rely solely on melee weapons in battle. Use enhanced detection gear when fighting these units. I apologize as a nervous Canadian. I love you, chat, so much. I forget where I heard this, but it's much better to say thank you than I'm sorry. There's a time and place for both phrases. Thank you can be very, very demeaning and sarcastic if you use it out of place. There's a time for saying thank you on the battlefield, but if you use that same context of saying thank you with your friends, it's a great way to cause really awkward energy. I think it's better to just acknowledge that you fucked up and really make a habit of saying like, oh man, I messed this up, you know? Don't dwell on it, but just kind of laugh about it a little. Be like, oh man, I really messed this up bad. It's not the end of the world, but holy shit, I fucked that up. It's a good mentality to have. If you don't want to go to a funeral and say thank you. Huh. Oh no, there's files here. I gotta read now. I don't want to read. Space Pirate, sentient aggressor species, well trained in weapons and melee combat. Space Pirate wield galvanic accelerator cannons and forearm-mounted scythes in combat. This species seeks to become the dominant force in the galaxy, and their technology may help them realize this goal. Ruthless and amoral, the pirates care little for the cost of their ambition, only for the results matter. And they take these very seriously. Too bad the hunter's here. Play this game for yourselves and read all these files. It's very fun. I'm not going to spoil everything. A new Space Pirate Dakota. Encrypted data decoded. Log 10.7121. Most terraforming and retrofitting of security checkpoints on Talon 4 is complete. But we continue to research the alarming epidemic of breaches by local creatures. Door records show no unauthorized entries. So we must presume that creatures are either slipping in undetected during daily personnel moves or else finding their way in through subterranean tunnels. We have found many small breaches of this latter sort and plugged them wherever we can, but it is unlikely that we will ever achieve full extermination within our current timetable. Bold of you to assume I can read. A new pirate data entry has been downloaded for your logbook. If anyone needs to learn how to read, it's me. 10.587.7 mining operation have begun near the crater where Phazon appears to be most concentrated. Daily Phazon yields have increased by 44% and our mining system becomes more streamlined as personnel and equipment flows increase. Several incidents of Phazon-induced madness have been reported, prompting augmented life support regulations in the deeper chambers. Symptoms include loss of equilibrium, erratic respiration, muscle spasms, and in the most extreme cases, hallucination. A timeline reassessment for the refinery operation is recommended, and the material provides more unstable than initial analysis indicated. That was a mouthful. More lore. 10.515.8. Our initial test exposed Talon 4's indigenous parasites to Phazon appear to be successful. Increased in strength, size, and aggressiveness are common in all test subjects, as well as unforeseen evolutions like additional poison sacs within the abdomen and the appearance of a second ring of mandibles in several subjects. These creatures were chosen because of their resilience. It appears possible that given enough exposure to Phazon, they may have one day be able to survive on any planet we transport them to. Our methods will have to be refined. We currently have a 100% extinction rate after the 4th infusion period, and most survivors of the 3rd infusion stage are so violent and uncontrollable that they have to be euthanized. Even still, we remain hopeful that further experimentation will result in success. More reading. Slog 10 yada yada yada. We have confined the newfound energy source as Phazon, a V-index mutagen which we have very little reliable data. Indications point to a meteor of unknown origin expelling Phazon into the environment. This material appears to possess the power to mutate organic life forms sufficiently to withstand its poison. These mutations appear promising, with abrupt evolutionary leaps appearing in production. Plans to establish a full science team on Talon 4 are being finalized. Good, that's everything. Space Pirate encrypted data decoded. 10.664.2. Research outpost Glacier 1 in the Phendrana Drifts region of Talon 4's mountains is operating at 85% capacity. Sub-zero temperatures have made the Metroid sluggish and easy to control. Even those well into phazon infusion cycles, cold containment stasis tanks are sufficient for the juveniles, but some of the larger Metroids have been moved to quarantine caves for safety purposes. Security doors remain an issue, as malfunctioning due to ice occurs every day. Large predators in the wastes are also a concern, as they continue to kill personnel and breach secure areas. Unfortunately, it has become clear that our containment teams cannot neutralize all of them without vast increase in munitions and soldiers. I'm going to turn the air on and get a beer. Give me a second. Thank God this disc still works. Come on. Encrypted data decoded. Scans of the spiral sector detected a massive energy spike emanating from a wandering class planet identified as Talon 4. Scout reconnaissance was immediately dispatched to the center of the spike, a landmass heading mark 48-2, returning with planetary samples and atmospheric imaging. Analysis shows the energy source to be unstable, radioactive material of enormous potential. We are unable to form an accurate risk assessment at this time, but we are unlikely to find any energy sources of this powerful again. Analytics will continue, but currently Talon 4 appears to be a viable secondary headquarters. More. 10-4017. Phazon mining is underway. Several garrisons have been established and terraforming of the Chozo ruins is underway. Security systems are operational and the science team continues to make progress in their biotech research. The Phendrana Drifts have proven to be optimal location for research headquarters, and soon it will be joined by a fully operational combat base and starport. If Command's predictions are half true, we shall rise to, thank you so much for the pizza, in this sector in a decacycle. Truly, these are glorious times. Is my lore reading getting annoying, Crosscurrent? I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Thank you. Damn. Frickin' Moist Chaos proved me right. Proved himself right. Okay, let's pizza time. This is Four Hands frozen pizza inspired by Four Hands Craft Brewery. It's freaking tasty.
Sounds very believable.
Moist Chaos, I gotta get you into 9 Inch Nails. Planet Talon 4, mass 5.1 trillion teratons. Ecosystem studies indicate that Talon 4 was a biological paradise prior to the impact of the extraterrestrial object. What remained of the biosphere is slowly fading due to exposure to Phazon radiation. At a current rate of decay, Talon 4 will be a barren Class 13 wasteland in approximately 25 years. Zebes, 4.8 trillion teratons. Planet's crust is primarily earthic ore, making it ideal for subterranean construction. A Class X1X planet, Zebes is inhospitable to most bioforms. The world was considered unmarketable until it became a base for space pirate forces. Okay. So Zebes and Talon 4 are in the same solar system. Check. Goodness. Flying Pirate. Pirates trained and equipped for airborne assault. Flying pirates are extremely agile in the air, but the heat signatures of their jetpacks can be tracked with thermal imaging. While their missiles are extremely potent, their jetpacks can be even more so. If a pack fails, they may make a suicide strike. I love the drone in these laboratories. This is a really cool area. No worries, Moist Chaos. I'll see you when I see you, fam. That is a Metroid. Metroid, energy-based parasitic predator. The dominant species of planet SR388. Metroids can suck the life force out of living things. A Metroid will latch onto its prey and drain energy, growing larger as it does. The only way to shake an attaching Metroid is to enter Morph Ball mode and lay a bomb. red. Encrypted data decoded 10-8910. The reconstruction of Geoform 187, codenamed Ridley, was recently completed after his defeat on Zeebs. Command ordered a number of metagenetic improvements for him. Though aggressive, we were able to implement these changes in a cycle. The metamorphosis was painful, but quite successful in the end. Early tests indicate a drastic increase in strength, mobility, and offensive capability. Cybernetic modules and armor plating have been added as well. We believe our creation, now called Meta Ridley, will become the mainstay of our security force. A job he will certainly relish. Great gerb, Hamstray. Encrypted data decoded, log numbers. Initial transfer of the Metroids to Talon 4 research facilities has been completed. 3 were terminated in an incident at the landing site, but the others were pacified and transported safely. Initial Phazon infusion testing is underway, and we are eager to observe effects of Phazon on Metroids, especially their ability to absorb and process the energy given off by Phazon sources. Early research suggests that I can't wait to play Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, and at considerable growth in power and size. Whether the creature stays stable thereafter remains to be seen. Is there more? There's more. Yada yada yada. Confidence is high regarding the Phazon applications. We know enough about Phazon now to begin combining it with pirate DNA. The code name for this venture will be Project Helix. Preliminary studies indicate that the Phazon infusion could produce radical new pirate genomes. Benevolent mutation levels are high in current test subjects. Phazon badness is a concern, but refinements in the infusion process should reduce or neutralize the odds of mental degeneration. Studies of Metroid biology continue. Though with limited progress, it seems likely that we will be much more successful using the Metroids for our means rather than trying to reproduce their powers. If they could be adequately tamed, we would have no need of a proper understanding of their metabolism. A small force of disciplined Metroids could wipe out entire armies. And once we find a way to shield them from cold containment weapons, they will be invincible. Furthermore, if we could harvest the energy they consumed, we would have a near limitless source of power at our disposal. That's what Albert Wesker said. Metroid dissection continues. To provide more questions than answers, our research teams have isolated the energy conduits that run from the invasive twin mandibles to the energy core of the creature's quadripartite nucleus. But the manner in which the Metroid actually extracts the life force from its prey remains an utter mystery. The victim does not lose blood or any vital fluids, yet the Metroid extracts the energy. Identifying this energy is our central problem. It takes no physical form, and yet without it, the victim dies. We will continue to research this matter, as the isolation of this life-giving essence could be the key to our ascendance. What else we got? all for now. Let's take a big swig of beer and do the hardest missile acquisition in the game. This part. Once it's done, it's done. Side which, once I beat Thardis, I'll make a save in Magmoor and then we'll be done. Before then, we have to get the thermal visor, so not long. I'd say about 30 minutes. They're ice beetles. They're like beetles, but they're cold. I love that drone of laboratory equipment. It's so relaxing. This was all Shigeru Miyamoto's idea. He said, what would the game look like if you were in Fly? And Retro Studios was like, what? But after a lot of abstract thinking, they're like, maybe Samus should see the world through a different set of lenses. The apex of that idea is the Echo Visor in Prime 2 Echoes, where you see the world through sound, and it's the fucking coolest visual effect in any video game. So like, comment, and subscribe, and keep tabs of the Spoony Futon, because we will get to the Echo Visor in Prime 2 Echoes. It'll be a while, but we'll get there. Sentry drone. Well-armed and armored security mecha. Sentry drones have limited intelligence, but do their assigned task well. Being machines, they are susceptible to electrical attacks. When alerted, drones initiate a security lockdown, then attempt to neutralize the intruder. Their electronic warfare suit can scramble visor technology as well. Make a safety save real quick. And it's boss time. there any echoing going on? If so, let me know, because the levels on OBS are looking really jank. Anyways, the phase-on radiation given off by THARDIS negates auto-targeting systems, preventing lock-on. It may be possible to acquire alternate targets with a different visor. The chaotic nature of phase-on irradiation leads to instability in the structural integrity. THARDIS can encase targets in ice, and its colossal size and strength make it a formidable opponent. Thank you, Sai. Give me a second, Google Master. I have an opinion. Metroid Prime 2 Echoes was my favorite game of all time until Doom Eternal came out. And it is my second favorite game of all time. And when I'm playing it, it is my favorite game of all time. I love Prime 2. I don't have enough good things to say about it. So hang tight, we will get there. But Doom Eternal went so far above and beyond the Call of Duty in comparison to the 2016 counterpart. That game is a drug for me. And anyone who aspires to get better at video games, play Doom Eternal. Please. Magnetic rail system in morph ball mode. Press and hold Z when it's tutorial. You have the spider ball and then you go up the rails. No need to read. I liked Other M when it came out, but it gets worse every time I play it again. There are things I love about it, but the lack of consistent controls really hold that game back. If someone is willing to sacrifice fun to make an artistic statement, their head is stuck so far up their ass. I think Yahtzee said that in one of his game reviews, but that's so true with Other M, where they insisted it only be played with just the Wiimote and not the nunchuck. It really holds back the possibilities of what could have been done. And if the gameplay was really, really good, then you could forgive the story. It's a hot mess. I don't objectively hate Metroid Other M. But there are many things wrong with it. There it is. This has been another episode of Who Gives a Fuck at I Don't Care.gmail.com. If you liked what you saw, consider subscribing. If you want to see more content, it can help me make a full-time job out of this. Do whatever you want to do. Yeah, in the description you'll see links to my Discord. I use that the most, but if you're Facebook, then you can do that as well. And thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Episode 3 is coming soon.